All right, welcome back, everyone. Bringing you another round, I think round 3 now, of our store championship for Liliana of the Veil and the Teferi Playmat here at NeverBoard. This should be a pretty cool matchup. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, we haven't seen Lantern Control show up here yet, but Lantern Control has had a couple changes since I last saw it. It's running Word Invention now.
Yeah, Whir is really powerful in here.
We were just talking about Word Invention, actually. The ability to just start tutoring stuff up out of nowhere. And most of this deck's artifacts only cost like 0 or 1 mana, but sometimes you just gotta whir for like an ensnaring bridge or something.
Yeah, that's the insane part. It can literally late game pull your ensnaring bridge combo for you. So right now, Lantern's starting off with a Bobble, then looks like going into a Thoughtseize.
Yep, that's a Thoughtseize.
Gonna take the K command, and now another Thoughtseize coming right back at him.
Hey, speak of the devil, there's ensnaring bridge. Can't take the Witchbane Orb with that Inquisition, but there's a couple other options. He is going to take the bridge, though.
Yeah, that's an integral piece of the Lantern combo. Late in the game, they have their deck designed so they won't have a single card in their hand.
Ancient Stirrings. Joshua going to try and dig for some kind of artifacts.
Finds a Codex Shredder.
Codex Shredder also very important to this deck. The whole point of Lantern Control, for those who don't know, is it's built around a card called Lantern of Insight, which is, there it is right now, which reveals the top card of each player's library. So you play Lantern of Insight alongside Codex Shredder, Ghoulcaller's Bell. I think there's like one other artifact that does this, but Pyxis of Pandemonium, that's what it is, Pyxis of Pandemonium. And you basically get rid of the top card if you see your opponent's top card or your own top card and you don't like it, and it gets rid of either one or both players' top cards, depending on which card it is.
Yeah, so right now, this Lantern player is going to be trying his best, but the Codex Shredder got taken out of his hand the turn before. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have put that land into the graveyard.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, he discarded it with another Inquisition. Norbut played his second already.
Yeah, this game's already going kind of fast for a Control versus Jund matchup.
Oh, yeah.
We're losing track of whose turn it is.
Good players here, though. All right, so he's going to fetch. He's going to find himself a third land. He does have the Ape Man land there. I forget what the heck it's called. Turns into an ape.
Treetop Village.
There you go.
And he's got mana to use it. Finding that Overgrown Tomb off the Bloodstained Mire.
Nice. So far, Jund actually has a decent ability to disrupt the combinations that Lantern's going to try to put together between things like K Command and the Inquisitions, as you're seeing here.
Yeah, although once the Witchbane Orb comes out, that gravy train stops. But Joshua's going to have to find a fourth source of mana to do it. He's going to cast what appears to be a redundant Lantern of Insight. However, it's not that redundant because each one can be thrown out to shuffle a library. And he's going to do that right now.
Nice, trying to find himself something a little better.
Yeah, shuffling his own library.
What does Witchbane Orb do? I'm not familiar with that card.
When it enters the battlefield, it's an artifact that costs 4. When it enters the battlefield, it destroys all curses attached to you, and you can't be the target of spells or abilities.
Interesting, so you just get some hexproof action. All right. It's going to mess up Liliana as well.
Finding a Mishra's Bauble, but Thoughtseize is probably not the card he wants to see. I don't know how much he cares about taking the Blood Braid off of Norbut's hand at this point.
Bobble and Lantern together are kind of funny. Take a peek at the card on top of your opponent's library. Okay.
It's only to draw.
I love how Norbut's just opting to show his whole hand here. He doesn't care. He's like, you saw it before. We're in the grind. We both know when we've won or lost.
Yeah, Norbut's nice like that. Anytime someone gets information about his hand, he will keep that information revealed for as long as it stays revealed. And for what it's worth, Joshua is going to crack the Mishra's Bauble at the end of Norbut's turn. He does draw an Inquisition. That'll take the Kolaghan's command out. So there goes the artifact hate. And then Thoughtseize to get rid of Bloodbraid Elf.
Oh my gosh.
Leaving with just leaving him with just the Terminate. Like, Terminate doesn't really do anything against this deck. Does it even play creatures? I don't think it does.
No, not a single one.
Not a single one. Well, in the sideboard, there's Pack Rat.
What? Why? Was that the one that discards in their hand?
Yeah, and then makes more Pack Rats. Yeah, we've got Joshua's list right in front of us. I don't see any creatures in here besides the one Pack Rat. And that's not even main board. That's a sideboard
That's
card.
funny. One Pack Rat in the side.
He's got Ashiok Nightmare Weaver in his sideboard as well. That's a win con. So is Tezzeret.
Very interesting. Tezzeret sounds awesome in there.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if you bring it in against.
I would imagine like aggro decks because the ultimate also gains you life, doesn't it? And it kind of draws hate. But again, I'm not a Lantern control player, so Lantern control players feel free to leave me a comment telling me I'm wrong because I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, seriously, and both players just drawing into tons of discard spells.
But that Liliana unfortunately stayed out too long, and now Norbut's going to get the emblem and just keep making zombies for days. At the end of each of his turns, he's going to get X zombies, where X is 2 plus the number of zombies he already controls.
Yeah, this is bad news. If Lantern can't pull an ensnaring bridge here, he's going to be in big trouble.
Gotta get the ensnaring bridge, otherwise the zombie army is going to come for him and his blood.
Doesn't find it.
But he does find the Witchbane Orb, so it's not nothing. He can't be killed by burn spells, but he's just going to scoop him up.
Alright, checks the top card. Wasn't his bridge either, so... Moving into the side. I wonder what Lantern will do here. And yet again, Norbut continuing his win streaks here.
Yeah, Norbut having a very good showing so far in this tournament. He's already 2-0 and on pace to go 3-0. So I would imagine, I'm looking at Joshua's sideboard right now. I think he's got to bring in the Maelstrom Pulse to get rid of Liliana before the Liliana gets to ultimate.
Yeah, seriously, that's helpful.
Especially Last Hope. Like, yeah, the ultimate for Veil is pretty bad, but usually that's not the one you want to worry about. It's Last Hope you want to worry about because that'll make the zombies. And then Leyland's Sanctity to stop Norbut from picking apart his hand.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Norbut's definitely going to want to keep all of his discard spell stuff in. I think most of his sideboard is dedicated to like helping against creature decks.
Yeah, but I would assume he's bringing in Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, seriously.
There's so many artifacts, and all artifacts that are very important.
Yeah, that's the one with flashback, right?
Yeah.
Incredible card in this matchup. Jeez.
Yeah, there's so many artifacts, and so many artifacts that are important to Lantern Control's soft lock. You gotta have Ancient Grudge if you're the Jund player. I see he's dropping the Scavenging Oozes, at least one Terminate. That might be the only Terminate in his list, actually.
So I feel like Lantern's best hope is to try to get up the Lantern and the Codex Shredder as early as possible. Try to grind through a lot of the answers it has for the artifact destruction. Otherwise, if it tries to set up too early, it's just going to be a dead end.
Well, getting rid of the Lantern itself is actually not necessary because it does give information about the top of your opponent's library as well. And knowing how the Lantern control deck operates, they're not going to want to sacrifice it just because they don't like your top card. They're going to want to play something else, like I said, Pyxis of Pandemonium, Ghoul Caller's Bell, etc., to try and manipulate the top card of your library. That's how they get the soft lock on. Those are the artifacts you want to go after. Codex Shredder, that sort of thing. But the Lantern itself is not dangerous. Lantern itself is actually pretty
only when
harmless.
it's combined with Codex Shredder and things like that, just to really say, no, you can't have that card, turning into it a little bit of a Fate Seal sort of thing.
The priority target for the artifact hate out of Norbut is going to be Ensnaring Bridge. Beyond that, it's going to be any of those cards that manipulate the top card of his library.
Man, Ensnaring Bridge is such a dirty card. Just seeing a reprint in M25 as well.
A lot of good cards getting reprinted in M25. Unfortunately, a lot of them at Mythic, but what are you going to do? Can't all come easy.
Alright, so he drops the Welding Jar on turn 1 before he decides to Inquisition him. Welding Jar is actually extremely helpful.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about all the different things that Ancient Grudge could hit, all the priority targets, and Welding Jar just makes the calculus a little bit harder. Norbut going to have turn 1 hand hate of his own. He sees the Lantern and another Inquisition and Ancient Stirrings. I think he takes the Ancient Stirrings.
Not a very strong hand here from a Lantern.
He does have a Mishra's Bauble, so he'll be able to replace whatever gets lost. Norbut going to take away the Lantern, actually.
Interesting.
Sacrifice the Bauble to see the top card in Norbut's library.
I might have gone for the Stirrings there.
I think I would have as well. Like I said, Lantern by itself is not that harmful. It's the other cards that synergize with it that are more harmful.
Right, and Norbut is discarding his Liliana and now pulling from the top of his deck as well.
Yeah, all he's got left is just lands, and I think that's another Thoughtseize. Joshua not really caring whether or not Norbut keeps his own hand hate at this point, for whatever reason. Oh wait, that's not a Thoughtseize, that's a Dark Confidant, isn't it? Or did I get discarded earlier? Yeah, I got discarded earlier. So, I believe that is a Thoughtseize.
Grabs the Codex Shredder. So now taking that Lantern earlier feels a little better.
That was probably what Norbut's logic was too, was by taking away the Lantern, he takes away technically all the cards that synergize with it.
And now the Codex Shredder also falls to the Thoughtseize.
So Joshua living off of his own top deck. He finds Pithing Needle.
Imagine he's going to call Liliana.
No, Treetop Village.
Oh, yeah, even better.
He's got Treetop Village in play. Going to have to stop that creature. I don't think he could be calling Liliana. I don't know if he cares about the Treetop Village that much, but
Here comes Goyf.
we're going to get a piece of paper here from the judge. Tarmogoyf, artifact, sorcery, creature, planeswalker. That's it. It's a 4/5. No fetch land set off.
Oh, man.
And Joshua finding land, not what he needs.
Yeah, Lantern's praying for that Ensnaring Bridge. That's all he really has right now.
He's got his Inventor's Fair in play, so he'll be gaining life very slowly as long as he finds a third artifact. There's the Ensnaring Bridge.
Ooh. Yeah, but this is only going to offer him a short respite until Norbut draws one of many of his destruction options. Luckily, he does have the Welding Jar to protect it.
Yeah, but he needs that Welding Jar in play if he wants the Inventor's Fair to be active and start gaining life back. Mm-hmm. There's the Ancient Grudge. That's a good answer to the Welding Jar.
It's going to kill it anyway, though.
Yeah. So the Welding Jar will go away, and so will the Ensnaring Bridge.
And flash it back. Can't protect it twice.
An instant entered the graveyard and left, so Tarmogoyf stays at 4/5. Briefly became a 5/6, but is a 4/5 again.
Oh, he's going to try to find another bridge off the top here.
Does he have it? No, he's going to reach across the table for a quick
Extends
handshake.
the hand, says, I got nothing. Collective Brutality sitting in Norbut's hand.
That's not a bad card to bring in either.
No, not at all. And Norbut continuing his win streak, going 3-0 up to this point so far. I think there was another undefeated player at this tournament, wasn't there, Alex?
Yes, there was. You're going to see them in the next match. Trust me.
Excellent. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the showing of Jund, showing the true power of Bloodbraid Elf. Not as so much in this matchup, but either way. Have a great time, and please do like, comment, subscribe, and leave us some love.